Oh, wait, the graph is crazy, though. The punch, like, that was wild right there, though. Like, whoa.
So much to say, and let me just go ahead and sound off. Can I get my one shot so I can talk to the beautiful people at home, please? First, let me clarify something. Angel Reese should not be suspended for that foul. Let me dispute that wild notion that has been circulating on social media. Angel Reese should not be suspended for that foul. It was a basketball play. Let me get ahead of that. Now, what I will also say is, Angel, your actions are starting to speak so loud, we can't hear what you're telling us. Because what you told us, if we go back to March 31st, was simple. You said you think people just take it like we hate each other. And Caitlin Clark and I don't hate each other. I want everybody to understand that. That's what you told us. The problem is your actions vehemently disagree. Because on June 1st, after Kennedy Carter cheap shots Caitlin Clark, you get up and you celebrate the cheap shot of Caitlin Clark. And then you proceed to hug your teammate who just cheap shotted her. Then fast forward 2 days later, you say, I'll take on the bad guy role. Then fast forward 2 weeks later, you wear Joker shoes. Now, for those that don't know, Joker is obviously a notable villain character in one of the most famous stories that we all like to celebrate in Batman. And then yesterday, you get a flagrant foul by hitting Caitlin Clark in the head. It was a basketball play, family, but what I want is simply for Angel and those that are a little bit ignorant to what has been going on to understand that Angel's actions are starting to speak so loud, we cannot hear what is being said. For those that are unfamiliar, let me tell you all, there have been 540 minutes of Chicago Sky basketball. Pay attention to this detail. 540 minutes of Chicago Sky basketball, of which Caitlin Clark has played 74 minutes against the Sky. The Sky only have 2 flagrant fouls all season. Y'all want to know who the 2 flagrant fouls are on? Caitlin Clark. So was it a basketball play? Yes, it was. Should she be suspended? Absolutely not. But if you've only played 540 minutes of basketball, and of those 540, 74 have been against Caitlin, you only got 2 flagrants, and they happen to be against Caitlin, I don't think it's coincidence. I think there might be causation and for sure correlation. Slick, what's your reaction to Angel Reese's flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark?
It was a basketball play.
Yes, sir.
We see it all the time.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with it being called a flagrant foul. I don't have a problem with the fact that Angel Reese did it. Because while we showed the behind, the angles of plays can often give you a distorted view of how they are. We showed it from the back where we just see Caitlin's head going sideways when she gets hit. If you see it from the baseline angle, you also see that Angel's eyes are on the ball the entire time, and she mistimes it and just, she gets her. She gets her in the head. The great issue that I have is that we are now taking this, the treatment or what's happening to Caitlin Clark, and we're attaching all sorts of other things to it other than the fact that she's a phenom coming into the league that is that people are her supporters are saying is going to take over the league and is going to be the best player or already is the best player that we've ever seen. If I'm in the WNBA, if I'm a player, I'm going to go, hold on. I've been here for a minute. You're telling me this newcomer is better than me? You're telling me this newcomer is going to take over the league? I got something for her. And if she's not particularly strong, she's not particularly fast, how am I going to compensate for the fact that she's ultra skilled? I'm going to try to be physical with her. I've got a daughter who plays collegiate basketball. I've been watching the game closely for the last 8-9 years at every level. WNBA, collegiate, high school, you name it. The women's game is more physical. It just is.
Way more physical.
Way more physical. And the referees, conversely, have a more difficult time of figuring out how to deal with the physicality and also the back and forth, like the trash talking that you mentioned, right? And so the fact that when I saw Cameron Brink in the NCAA tournament, she fouled out. And as she's walking out that ref? And she's walking to the bench and she's dropping F-bombs on the ref as she's walking out. And you know what happened? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Yeah. And I'm watching that and I'm going, that would never be tolerated in a men's game in the NCAA. No, I mean, that dude, he'd be gone. Why? Right? What?
Why do you think that the women tolerate it and they don't tolerate it?
I think that the aggression and the level of competitiveness that women have, they are every bit as competitive as men. But I think there's a psychology that we don't know what to do with that. We don't know how to curb that, or we don't we don't know how to deal with that. I think, and what we're seeing now is we're seeing an attention on the WNBA, which is the highest level. It's going to be most physical. It's like any pro sport, right? We're seeing an attention now by a bunch of people that have never paid attention to women's basketball ever, right? And so now they're having all these judgment. Oh my God, look what's happening to Caitlin Clark.
But well, I got to answer this, because I'm with you on everything you've said thus far. But the problem is when you see that you've only had 2 flagrant fouls all year, and the 2 flagrant fouls are on the same woman. You only got 2. You've seen a plethora of players. At this point in time, I believe they've played probably every team in the league, if not all but 1 or 2 teams. And the 2 flagrants aren't just on the same team. They're on the same woman on the same team. It's not coincidence unless you believe that it is. Because if Draymond Green has if Draymond Green has a flagrant foul on Rudy Gobert next season, we all gonna say, well, you know what? There's history there. So while Draymond might have made making a basketball play, there's history there.
But don't you think that the referees are hearing all of the chatter about Caitlin Clark, and whether it's called a flagrant foul or whether it's just a physical foul, that they're looking at it and going, oh, they're playing her more physical, and as a result, we might need to curb. We got to keep an extra eye on this to make sure that it's not going in a certain direction. Nobody else is getting it.
That's a great point. Now I'll just talk about the foul from Angel Reese. Now that was a basketball play, right? She's going for a block. I think because who the person was making a big deal. Now the flagrant should have happened, right? I think that in any game, especially basketball, girls or men, getting hit in the head, come on, you know what that is. So I don't think she tried to do that. That was an accident. But I will say this, for the commissioners, right, of the WNBA and the refs, let me talk to y'all for a second, because David Stern did a great job of monetizing that, right, for the NBA. When he had certain stars, how can I grow this game, right? When I got the people there in place, let me make it bigger. That's what he did with the Michaels and all that. Now when I look at it, it's like you have the Messiah there. Nobody was watching women's basketball. Nobody's watching it.
Yeah, but Shady,
Hold
Michael
up.
Jordan
Hold
took
up.
his beating. He didn't fix it right away.
Okay, but did they fix it?
They fixed it eventually.
Right. So my thing is, when I watch this game, right? So I watch this game. I seen the foul and all that. And I'm thinking, like, okay, there's certain times where the ref's calling a certain foul on her, or the ref is calling a walk. Like, all the small little things. My ref, bro, nobody's here to see you, though, right? They're not here to see you in the men's game. They're not here to see you in the women's game. Let the women play. That's what they're there to see Caitlin play. That's what they're there to see. So some of these fouls that she's getting called for, I think she was trying to do a screen. She like kind of pushed off. They called a foul. I'm like what? We want to see her with the ball in her hand. So I'm saying as the refs and as the commissioners, they have to do a better job of making the game bigger. Now, nothing's fair, right? I know people's like, well, it's not fair, Shady. It's not, right? The way that when the NFL start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, we start making all this money, the quarterbacks, they had to protect them more than anybody else.
Sure.
I think the quarterback and the fat D lineman, they are both important. Their mamas and dad care about them the same way. But to grow this game, the D lineman is not as important as the quarterback. So when Tom Brady got his knee rolled up on, right, and he's out for the season, and there's no more Tom Brady or the whole year, who loses out? The league loses out. So now when you have a Tom Brady or Michael Jordan wearing 22, right, for the Fever, Caitlin, you got to monetize that and make sure that she is protected enough. Now, I'm not saying that, like, she should just have a cover over her. You can't do nothing to her. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that, yes, it should be certain calls that she should get. It should be certain calls that you shouldn't call on her. And on certain fouls, you need to call it right away to send a message to everybody else in the league. Because if you don't, and this girl gets mad enough where, you know what, I don't have the passion for the game no more. You know what, I don't let us get no more. You know what, I want her to get out of here. If she do that, we all lose.
And fouls on Caitlin are more significant. If Caitlin goes down yesterday with a concussion, that's vastly different than any of the other ones.
Because I'm not watching.
The W.
Oh, she's not playing? She's not in the lineup? I'm not watching. Listen, real quick. To win a rookie award this year, right, I think Caitlin is favorite, right? She's the less bet on. I was like, why the hell is that? So I go check the numbers out. You know, I like to gamble. She's minus 1,000 to win it. So everybody, their mom, and their cousin, their sister, their brother is all betting on her to win this award. That's how important this girl is. Don't mess this thing up. Do not. You already did it with the USA team. You messed that up already, right? The viewership gonna be down already because she's not playing. Don't keep messing this game up. That's all I'm saying.
Well said. On the other side of this break, James Jones will weigh in. We have a lot more on this conversation. We just getting warmed up. Honestly, we just finished calisthenics as it pertains to this dialogue. When we return, it continues.